what's the fighting in Congo all about? What is happening in Goma? What is happening in Congo? So Congo is a country in Africa that is rich in several minerals: gold, coltan, tin, name it all. And coltan is one of the essential minerals in the production and manufacture of mobile phones and car batteries. So M23 is one of such groups that is usually fighting the government so that they can gain control and mine these minerals. So M23 is a group that they get their name from a peace agreement that was gotten to in 23rd March 2009. Rain is coming. I hope it won't beat me as I'm trying to create for you people. So yeah, so they got their name from that peace agreement, and then after that they took control and seized Goma in around 2012, but the government and the UN defeated the group and chased it out of Goma, and they gained the control back. So M23 decided that, you know what, we can join the army so that our people, the minority, will be protected, the Tutsis will be protected. So how did the M23 get into Congo if they are Tutsis? Because Tutsis are in Rwanda. So this goes way back to 1994, the famous genocide where Hutus slaughtered and massacred about 800,000 Tutsis, and in response Tutsis formed a force led by the current president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, to fight the Hutus. So when they came and they fought and they won, and the Hutus had to run away because they knew that the way Kagame had taken back Rwanda, it was gonna do something to them. They ran away and they went to the neighboring DRC. So when they got there, there is apparently a famous force also in Congo that comprises Hutus. The force is called Democratic Forces for Liberation of Rwanda. So Rwanda feels like Hutus who left us here, they went there and they're the ones who murdered us. Oh, what's that? This thing. There's this thing that's walking. I don't know if you can see it. It's scaring me. So yeah. So Rwanda has seized Congo twice in pursuit of the Hutus who left Rwanda, who are the perpetrators of the genocide. So that is what is happening in Congo. That is the fighting that is there all about. Apart from M23, and there are just several other groups that are there. But then Rwanda has denied any connection to M23. They've said that they are not connected to M23. So as I mentioned before, that M23 wanted to join the army in Congo. So they did join after they were chased away out of Goma. And do you know, in 2021 it rose again because they were saying that the agreement that the things that they had agreed on, the promises had not been kept.
The situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo seems to be getting out of hand as protesters in the capital city Kinshasa have attacked embassies of countries perceived to be in support of the M23 rebel movement, the biggest casualty being the Rwandan embassy, which was totally burnt to the ground. Remember, Rwanda has for over 3 decades been accused of funding and supporting the M23 rebel movement. Other embassies that were attacked include the Kenyan embassy, the Ugandan embassy, the US embassy, the French embassy, and the Japanese embassy. Now, some people argue that this is against international law, as an attack on a country's embassy is an attack on the country itself. It is a developing situation. Remember, the M23 rebels are currently making progress in eastern Congo. They have captured Goma, and they are saying that they are fighting for the minority Tutsi, and they want to reclaim those mines from imperialists. But of course, there have been individuals who have lost their lives in the war, collateral damage in terms of civilian lives lost. And yeah, we're yet to know exactly how this is going to pan out in the end.
Goma, the largest city in eastern DRC, the humanitarian, cultural, and economic hub of North Kivu province, is now in the control of M23 militia backed by Rwanda and its Western allies. This current state of events is going to expose millions of people to even worse humanitarian rights abuses. This is a call to action for us, all of us across the globe, to stand with Congo at this time. If you believe in human rights, if you believe in children's rights, women's rights, environmental justice, social justice, racial justice, now is your time to shine a light on what's happening in Congo. One more thing I'd like to say is that in the coming days, you will see videos coming out of Goma of this population seemingly celebrating the presence of these troops on their land. Before you judge from the comfort of your living room, I would urge you to think about exactly what this population has been through. These people have been running from this violence for the past 30 years. They know what this occupation means for them. They understand we, the outside world, are not in any moral position to judge them. Consider the fact that they are an unarmed population facing a military presence that is being backed by the entire Western hegemony. So before you judge, use some sensitivity, and let's be very mindful about how we engage with these videos that we will be seeing coming out of Goma. This beautiful gown, this beautiful dress I'm wearing right now, I bought in a market in Goma just 2 weeks ago. Goma as a city is the very definition of resilience. It is a bustling, thriving economic hub. It is home to so many internally displaced people from all across Eastern DRC. And Goma right now needs us as a global community to stand with it. Goma only needs peace. The population of Goma is only asking for peace, so that it can continue thriving like it deserves to, so that the people there can continue to live their lives, go back home like they deserve to. As a global community who believe in the sanctity of human life, in the sanctity of Black African lives, let's do this for Congo. Let's do this for Goma. I have tagged several on-the-ground community-based organizations working in Goma right now to provide emergency relief, to build shelters, to buy food, to provide clean drinking water for this population that is going to be in dire need of these basic needs now more than ever. So please go engage with these accounts, encourage them, and let's get fired up. Donate to these fundraisers and these causes so that we can all do this together for Congo. We all know that we benefit from Congo's resources, and we all know that we can do this together as a global community who believes in justice, freedom, and liberation for Congo. Thank you all as always, and free Congo.
4 more South African soldiers have died in the DRC. This brings the total number of South African soldiers who have died to 13. I am a journalist from South Africa, currently living in South Korea, and I bring you news from South Africa and all over the world. The SANDF has confirmed that 3 soldiers were killed when a mortar bomb launched by M23 rebels landed in the SANDF camp. The 4th soldier, who was injured during battles in the last few days, succumbed to their injuries. The SANDF has also said it will not be releasing the names of the deceased until their families have been informed. They've also said that injured soldiers are continuing to receive treatment at a nearby hospital.
Hapa sasa hivi mnaenda wapi sasa?
Basi ni kuzunguruka tuko wataitika kutufungulia njoo tutaikaa.
Wapatie watoto mai kwanza. Pole kwanza sana. Mulitoka saa gani?
Tumetoka Masize.
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 Balunguza ma? Yaba? Balilunguza? Abo? Ay. Pole sana. Na sasa huko kwa mone, ngoja utapata. Atapata yake. Tufe hivi tu, turudishe ka nguvu kidogo atujue kwa utaingilia. Mai mwenye apata mai na atapata. Bo, Sie banatuita Focus Congo. Tuko bandugu yenyu ba Kongomani. Tunaishi hapa Goma na tunaendaka na lomba vitu kwa watu mingi juu ya kubasaidia. Tuko na
I'm here in Goma in one of the last government-controlled pockets of the city. You can still hear sporadic gunfire coming from the city centre, where today there was intense urban combat pitting M23 rebels and Rwandan troops against the very last Congolese defenders. Where I am, mortar fire and gunfire was raining down during the day, and we spent most of the day inside taking cover. But it's now mostly quiet. It feels like the calm before the storm, while it's difficult to know what's going on because internet and electricity is cut across Goma. M23 rebels are almost certainly in control of most of the city centre. We expect them to make a push towards this pocket within a day.
The conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo has taken a devastating turn, raising international concern. M23 rebels have intensified their offensive in North Kivu, with reports that the rebels have entered the regional capital, Goma. There is now a desperate search for a solution. The United Nations Security Council convened an emergency meeting on Sunday, urging dialogue and demanding the withdrawal of the M23 rebels from eastern DRC. The regional bloc, East African Community, EAC, announced late on Sunday that it will convene an extraordinary summit within 48 hours. Chairperson of the EAC, Kenyan President William Ruto, said he has held discussions with DRC's President Felix Tshisekedi and his Rwandan counterpart Paul Kagame. Ruto said both presidents have agreed to attend the summit. Ruto said the meeting is aimed at achieving a sustainable solution. The United Nations and DRC have accused Rwanda of backing the M23 rebels. Rwanda has repeatedly denied the claims. Congo severed diplomatic ties with Rwanda on Sunday amid the escalation. Turkey has recently offered to mediate to resolve the dispute between Rwanda and DRC, following its successful mediation between Ethiopia and Somalia. In the past week, at least 13 peacekeepers died in the conflict, 9 of them from South Africa, 3 from Malawi, and 1 from Uruguay. Many civilians died, and the governor of North Kivu province, Major General Peter Chirimwami, also lost his life in the fighting. The DRC army and UN peacekeepers have been trying to tackle the rebels. The conflict in the mineral-rich country started in the 1990s with various armed groups fighting for control, but M23 is now the major rebel group. Who are M23? Also known as the March 23 movement. The M23 are an armed group operating in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. They formed in 2012 mainly from former soldiers who accused the government of breaking a 2009 peace deal. The group claims to fight for the rights of ethnic Tutsis in the region, but their actions have caused widespread violence and displacement. Although they were defeated in 2013, they've recently made a comeback, reigniting tensions and drawing global attention to the region's instability. This month alone, more than 400,000 people have been displaced, and that's according to the United Nations. Analysts say foreign economic interests are also driving the conflict. DRC is rich in gold, lithium, and cobalt, among other mineral resources. However, as the blame game continues, the innocent, including women and children, are paying the highest price.
Thousands of prisoners have fled amid chaos in Goma, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This comes after M23 rebels entered the city amid escalating conflict with the army. The rebels' penetration of Goma marks a critical development in the ongoing conflict in eastern DRC. So why is Goma significant? The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, is one of Africa's largest and most resource-rich countries. DRC's eastern region is known for its breathtaking landscapes, including Lake Kivu and the Virunga National Park, home to endangered mountain gorillas and other fauna. The region has 2 key provinces, North Kivu and South Kivu. Goma, the capital of North Kivu, is a vital city strategically located on the border with Rwanda and along the shores of Lake Kivu. This city is home to about 2 million people and serves as a major hub for trade, international humanitarian organizations, and regional logistics. It also hosts many people displaced by years of conflict in DRC. Goma's airport is a critical gateway of aid organizations, including the United Nations agencies, enabling the delivery of supplies and coordination of relief efforts to conflict-affected areas in eastern Congo. Situated in one of the world's richest mineral regions, Goma plays an essential role in the global economy. Its surrounding areas have significant deposits of gold, tin, and coltan, resources critical to the global technology industry. Additionally, as a hub for cross-border trade with Rwanda, Goma is integral to the regional economy, with goods flowing steadily through its bustling markets. However, the instability in Goma threatens both local populations and international supply chains. The M23 rebel group has made significant advances in recent weeks and eventually entered Goma. Goma has faced similar challenges in the past. In 2012, M23 rebels briefly seized control of the city before withdrawing under international pressure. Since then, Goma has remained a focal point in the broader conflict in eastern DRC. Despite these challenges, Goma plays a key role in attracting local and foreign tourists. It's a gateway to Virunga National Park, which is home to a variety of fauna, and Mount Nyiragongo, one of the world's most active volcanoes. The current situation in Goma is fluid. There are fears of its negative impact on security, economy, and regional stability, as well as humanitarian aid. The United Nations and the regional bloc East African Community have called for dialogue to resolve the conflict and ensure stability in the region.
They're on the move, thousands of Congolese people, with their lives on their backs, heading into a besieged city for any semblance of safety. The soldiers are moving too. Their enemy is behind them, but quickly moving in.
We're suffering a lot. People are fleeing everywhere, and we don't know where to go anymore, because we started fleeing a long time ago. I fled from Kwanja, Rutshuru, Kabamba. I've never stopped fleeing, and even today the war catches us here amongst the host families. Now we have nowhere to go.
We hear bombs from all sides of our IDP camp. That's why I decided to flee, so as not to die there. We are going to Goma, but I heard that there are bombs in Goma too, so now we don't know where to go.
It's a state of panic, the rapid movement of people who know the threat of violence, displaced more than once into a place that's now safe for no one.
This regional capital has been a humanitarian hub for decades and is now besieged by Rwandan-backed M23 rebels. And UNESCO, the UN peacekeeping mission that's held this region together, is now increasingly becoming a target.
It's the United Nations' biggest peacekeeping mission, and its compound is now an evacuation site. Civilian staff are leaving in droves as peacekeeping troops are killed in combat, now ordered to pull back and stay in place.
UNESCO is targeting us.
We spoke to an M23 spokesman as their forces moved in.
Is M23 planning to capture Goma?
Yes.
How soon?
Is going to protect the people. I cannot tell you because it's a battle, but what I can guarantee you though is Goma will never be the same again.
On the border with Rwanda, Goma is now the final front in what's looking like a full capture of eastern DRC by the rebels Rwanda supports. A move that's made an internal war a diplomatic catastrophe, with the UN Secretary General calling on Rwandan troops to withdraw from the DRC as his peacekeepers reassess their strategy. For now, people keep flooding in, with nowhere to go and nothing to do but wait for a disaster that feels promised. Yusra Al-Bagher, Sky News, Goma, Eastern DRC.
They want to be described as honorable even when they are horrible. They acquire things which they have not worked for. They promise us things that they know they will never deliver. And there is no shortage of such men and women in the African continent.
You like me, why them a fight me, fight me. You like me, chewing a bomb, bite it. You like me, chewing a bite it. Don't like, how I not you. When you trust them, when you trust them, even if we post them. When you trust them, when you trust them, you find not touch them. When you trust them, when you trust them, what you want to sub them. In fan, my messenger, bust them up.